Imagine sitting down for dinner in ancient Rome. You're expecting something grand, maybe a feast fit for an emperor, but instead you're handed a bowl of fermented fish guts? Yep, the Romans had some wild food choices, and today we're diving into the crazy, the delicious, and the downright bizarre dishes that kept the Roman Empire running. Trust me, you won't believe what they ate. And before you say, well, they probably just ate bread and olives. Oh, my friend, buckle up, because ancient Rome's menu was anything but basic. So, picture this. It's the 1st century AD. The Roman Empire is at its peak. Cities are buzzing with merchants, senators, and gladiators, all living wildly different lives. But there's one thing they all have in common: food. And depending on where you stood in society, your plate could look very different. If you were an average Roman, say a farmer or a soldier, you weren't feasting on luxury. Your daily meal was all about puls, a thick porridge-like dish made from grains like barley or wheat. It was cheap, easy to make, and could be eaten plain or mixed with veggies if you were lucky. Think of it as the ancient Roman version of oatmeal but without the maple syrup. And bread? Oh, bread was life? There were so many different types, some soft, some rock hard, some even used as plates. Yeah, Romans literally ate their plates sometimes, because why waste good dough, right? But now let's talk about the rich, because if you had money in ancient Rome, your dinner table looked like a reality show. Lavish, over the top, and honestly a little ridiculous. Ever heard of dormice? Yeah, the Romans loved them. Not as pets, as snacks. These little guys were stuffed with nuts and honey, roasted to perfection, and served as a delicacy at elite feasts. Basically, ancient Rome's version of an expensive appetizer. And if you thought that was weird, get this. Flamingo tongues were considered the ultimate gourmet dish. Why? Because apparently, nothing says, "I'm rich," like eating a bird's tongue. But wait, it gets better. Romans were obsessed with garum, a fermented fish sauce that smelled absolutely rancid, but was sprinkled on everything. It was made by letting fish intestines rot in the sun for months. And the craziest part? The more it stank, the more expensive it was. Imagine walking into a Roman kitchen. Boom. Fish guts aroma slaps you in the face. But to them, that was the good stuff. Now, Romans weren't all about the salty and savory. They had a serious sweet tooth too. But no chocolate, no sugar. So how'd they do it? Honey. Lots of honey. They used it to make libum, a sweet cheesecake-style dessert that was basically an early version of modern cheesecake. And they had dates stuffed with nuts and drenched in honey, which honestly sounds like something you'd find in a trendy health food cafe today. And of course, we have to talk about wine. Romans loved their wine, but here's the thing. It wasn't like what we drink today. They diluted it with water. Why? Because drinking straight-up wine was considered barbaric. But don't think that means they weren't getting buzzed. Oh, they definitely were. They just had rules about it. Oh, and if you were feeling fancy, you could sip wine mixed with honey, spices, and even seawater. Because apparently a little salt in your drink was peak sophistication. So, what did ancient Romans eat? The answer: everything. From simple barley porridge to flamingo tongues, from stuffed dormice to fermented fish sauce, their food was as diverse as their empire. Some of it sounds delicious, some of it sounds questionable, and some of it, well, let's just say I'm glad we have pizza now. If you found this as crazy as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more wild stories from the ancient world.